welcome to the Wealth Transfer, global economics and biblical principles, protecting your family, preserving your wealth, and protecting this kingdom with the truth and information. I am Terry Sacka. I'm the Chief Strategist, and I'm along with the great old pastor, Dr. Charles Vance.
I hope that was O-L-E, Pastor, not O-L-D.
I'm in Virginia. They sound like I'm trying to say what it would be.
West Virginia. Everybody
That's a big
does
deal.
that. Everybody does that. So what part of Virginia? Is that close to Richmond? People do that all the time. It's all right.
No, definitely old.
Glad to be along.
You look great.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm young. Have energy, strong. God's blessing me.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that. Absolutely. I think.
No doubt about it.
You know, we walk in that fire, and you know, the devil tries to come and he hits his angles. He tries to hit the perimeter, but when you walk in the Word, you have that relationship. God gives you the ability. The Holy Spirit gives you the ability to see, and you can then just.
That's revelation.
Yes.
When you really get into that and really have a passion for it, it's hard not to talk about it.
Yeah, right.
And that's the reason that this program is in place, is because both of us have a passion to get this message. Before I ever met you, I taught on finances a minimum once a year at our church, an extended series of messages, because the majority of people that are in evangelical churches are not very educated when it comes to financial things. Let alone the global education, wouldn't you admit? The global education, they're absolutely, it's just dismissed.
I mean, because we've been talking about the China, the Russia, and Iran. We're going to get real heavy on the China angle here today, but you know, why this is really happening. But
you're not going to pick at our TVs and computers and stuff, are you?
No.
Like all of our stuff coming from China.
It all does.
I know it does.
Well, no, not this silver.
That's true.
Not this silver.
That's
this
true.
This is grade A, 100%, what you call that, beef that comes in. But no, we're going to get really into showing how China, the real truth behind the scenes of what's getting ready to take place. China is going to dominate the financial world. They're going to now. What some people are saying is going to be now.
I almost say it's now.
Well, but it's not. It's going to take time. Now there could be events to trigger. Now we've been pushing Russia for war. We've been destabilizing the Middle East for a reason. We caused the immigration crisis to Europe and into our country as well, which I call it a crisis. I mean, if we're not vetting these guys and they're aged 24 to 45 from Islamic countries that hate your guts, get a earth grip, right? So. Europe is experiencing it now. This is all manufactured as ways to force Europe into being dependent on NATO, which they need us then, and then to push Russia to keep them from taking down the petrodollar, which then takes down our dollar dominance. That's the really angle that's going on here. So let's just start off with this whopping video, Charles.
Okay.
Talking about China, because people want to know. This is not a news story. China will do it. They're doing it. And you're right, by the way. Right now, they're doing it. And so let's jump in this video and watch. This video is going to give you a description of how exactly this world is being shaped. And it's all about the Silk Road, China's financial dominance. And remember, 1+ billion people as a population. A lot more than us. So let's just check this video out. I'm contending, that downturn is by design.
It wouldn't make any sense that they are exporting so many products to so many nations. I wonder how the United States could survive right now if just all of a sudden everything that we have imported from China were to be cut off. It would be catastrophic.
Yeah, we import about 400 billion, so it's pretty serious.
But I mean, just certain industries, like the electronic industry, would almost be completely closed down.
Well, we got Japan.
Well,
no, I'm just messing.
But they're in a mess as well.
Well, yeah, they're pretty much bankrupt. That's
but
right.
China, this has to be manipulated because, well, you saw in the video all the export that they're doing. That means that money is coming to them from every direction.
And here's what we're doing now. I'm going to bullet this program because I'm going to lay out some groundwork for what's coming. But we have seen literally in the past month, 6 weeks, tankers that carry goods, shipping containers across from the east to the west. We have actually seen the Atlantic have not one tanker in it at points throughout the day.
So there's actually a slowdown?
I mean, a halt, not a slowdown.
Okay.
A dead halt.
What's causing that?
The economies aren't moving.
People are not buying things.
People are not buying a single thing. That's why what you see on the news is absolutely fabricated, because they're not buying anything. And the reason China is going through this, they're getting rid of their reserves. Remember, they have the world's largest reserves. They had almost 4 trillion.
No, you're talking about U.S. currency reserves.
Not just U.S. They have euros, U.S. They have 3 or 4 trillion reserves, meaning they have made so much money they have other people's money in their bank.
Sure.
Now, I'm contending, this is purely my theory, I'm contending they're doing this on purpose.
But they're buying, aren't they buying up tangible items like gold and silver?
Not only are they buying up the tangible items like gold and silver.
And property in other countries?
They're buying our property.
Exactly.
Do you know what they're just buying? They just bought? People would freak out if you knew this, by the way, but I might as well tell you.
They're going to know.
They're buying the...
Don't freak out.
They're buying the stock exchange. A small one, but they're buying it.
Here in America?
In Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, talk about, we let the communists right in the back door, right? But they own us. But this is all by design. Now, what I'm saying, this is purely my theory here, and I love this because I really think I might be close. They are getting rid of their reserves, U.S. dollar reserves. And Charles is right, they're buying hard tangible assets with it. I contend they're getting rid of a lot of the dollar reserves because they know the dollar's value is getting ready to tank and they don't want to get stuck with worthless paper. I was in Africa. I've done some traveling in business, not to say that was a smart move, going there in the business I was in. I could have easily been kidnapped, but thank God my wife has a really good revelation scripturally that kept me safe. But I saw things in Africa, as well as colleagues I know in South America. The Chinese were everywhere and buying up everything. And I can tell, this is purely my theory, I don't have any data for this, but it's just a spiritual gut instinct. I think they're using our dollar reserves to buy these hard assets, and they're not telling anybody. Remember, they're communists, so they lie. They're liars. So I think they have less dollar reserves than people think. And they're dumping these dollar reserves right now to get them out of here. And in the same time they're doing that, they're telling their people to buy gold and silver. And at the same time, they're forming a trilateral, which we told you was coming some 3-4 months ago. Here, our brilliant president and brilliant Secretary of State, and I'm really being sarcastic.
Yeah, sarcastic.
Made a deal with Iran, who was our enemy. As soon as we do that, they kick us in the knee. They set our hair on fire. They tell us we're this and that, and then they go and start doing all this horrible stuff to our country. Wait until you see what Iran is doing against the United States now. So China is forming this relationship with Iran and Russia, and many thought that Iran and China would really make Russia upset. They're forming the trilateral, and they're going after the dollar. So you better start getting serious about protecting. We don't know the when, but with all the data we share, you better realize it's true enough to know it's soon enough. So get some education. Here's a good place to get started, and then let's jump into some of this.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now.
Okay, now let's keep in mind China or Iran was under sanctions. We had them. They were shut down for the global system, shut down from selling oil. They had no friends except pretty much Russia and China they were making friends with, and then some of minor people around them. They have all formed an alliance against the Western world. And if you think they like us, you're kidding yourself. But they're coming after the dollar dominance. So I'm going to do some kind of bullet images here so you can kind of reference who we're talking about. This first one here, on the left there is the Chinese, obviously, right? And then you have the what is it, a Mullah Ayatollah, Mullah Khomeini or something?
You know.
And
I don't know.
I don't like them, man. So let's just put it this way. They're evil people, okay? Those particular parts of them. There's a lot of great Iranians, by the way.
The guy in the
civilians.
middle screaming death to America.
That's what I'm
time,
saying.
so
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of...
He's not our friend.
No. And there are a lot of phenomenally wonderful Iranian people,
Sure.
by the way. They're great. They're Persian. They're a little different than... But these middle... No. All they want to do is death to America, and they think we're Satan, which is ironic because you know how that goes, you know. It's called spade a spade. They're the ones actually... When Satan, you know, they're the ones who are Satan, really, right? The Antichrists. So here's a meeting with the... you have the Iranians and the Russians and the Chinese all meeting up. Now, they are buddies. I'm telling you, they're forming a serious alliance, and they're coming after us. Now we get lifted the sanctions. They look pretty happy, don't they?
They should be.
We have given tens and hundreds of billions of dollars to Iran. We allow them to sell oil. We allow corporations to go in and do business with them. They're going to fund terrorism, and they're going to keep going to the nuclear bomb. And look how happy they are right now. Hey, you got an atheist on one side and an absolute Christian-hating, American-hating guy on the other. And we made this happen. We allowed it. So something smells really bad.
We, our government.
Let's just, yes, and let's
Government
just say
leaders.
something smells really bad in the hen house. Okay? So, why is this going on? Or what is Iran excited about? Check this out. Just a few weeks ago, remember we talked about the petrodollar, meaning every country in the world had to buy oil with an American dollar.
So they had to have reserves of it in their banks.
Yes, which then made our dollar valuable.
Certainly.
Made our bonds valuable because everyone needed them. The reason now, and people argue this, but it's just convenient that in 2003, Iraq started selling oil for euros. Said, forget the dollar, forget this petrol thing, we want euros. Or 2002, oh, we invaded right after that. Interesting, right? We had to stop this petrodollar attack. And mind you, when I say this petrodollar, I mean serious. We've gone to war over it. We're going to continue to go to war over it. And now what does Iran do? Brilliant move by a brilliant Secretary of State and President that we have, forms this agreement with Iran, who was our arch enemy. And the very first thing they do after we give them $100 billion and free them to go into the jaws of China and Russia, they do this. Iran no longer selling oil for dollars. They are now demanding euros. A direct attack on the petrodollar. They are sticking it to us from the first day we said lift sanctions and give them the money. All I know is, are we really insane? I mean, I love treaties, but a treaty than this?
There has to be an ulterior motive behind that.
I'm telling you, Charles, some ulterior motive.
Listen, these people fool with these folks all the time.
I don't get it.
Well,
no, I mean, but seriously, we do the sanctions lifting, we give them $100 billion, and they turn right around and attack the very thing that is our survival.
But they were already warned. People knew they were going to do this, and they were warned. That's what I'm saying. There has to be, to me, I'm not an expert on this, but just looking at this from a practical point of view, has to be an ulterior motive by the government. Somebody they're working something behind the scenes.
Well, let me tell you, it cannot be good for us, because the only thing that made America great financially right this moment is, one, the petrodollar agreement. Two, we control the SWIFT, interbank transfer of money, meaning we control how everybody transfers money. And we have the greatest military in the world. That's it. We did a treaty. Then the very first thing they do, besides sticking it to us and kicking us, they announce an attack on our petrodollar right away and form an alliance with China and Russia in doing so. I find that fascinating, because never in my breathing life have I ever seen an American president do something so blatantly against the American people or our standard of living.
Sure.
And so I just don't quite understand. You're right. Maybe they're smarter than I am.
There's something going on, because
here's what's going on. Are we kneeling to this? Next image. See that yellow arrow? That is a billboard in China. Are we doing this because we are now slaves to these folks who owe us this debt? Now, don't get me wrong. We're very financially viable. America's a player, and we're strong. But that billboard's real. It's in China. It says, the new choice, the world currency. Remember, they're now in the IMF as a reserve currency. Starting this September, it goes active. That billboard's real. Are we acquiescing? Are we capitulating?
Is that a gold coin?
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
I know. I find it, when I say there's a reset coming, we're setting the stage to allow our system to be marginalized and then allow others to equalize as we reset the entire stage. Now, here's the good news about the reset. A reset really means gold has to go a lot higher. The reason they didn't allow it now is because we've been setting the stage for the reset. Gold has to go for like $4,000, $8,000 an ounce, because when gold goes up higher in price, it'll allow us to wipe out our debts. You see? So that's another big part of it.
Only if we own it.
Oh, well, supposedly we do. Supposedly we have 8,000 tons. Europe has 10. And what I'm here to say, and nobody knows this, but I'm in the industry of refining, and I got to tell you, they have, and I'll show some evidence of it. I think China's going to come out when this happens and say they have 13 to 15,000 tons. They're going to say they have more gold than anybody on the earth. And then the gold was going to get reset, and of course, so is silver. So when this happens in this reset, now we don't know the timeline. I'm okay with not knowing the timeline. I don't even care. Because when we're talking about IRAs and retirement accounts, these are for retirement. So what a better place to put it in a tangible asset that's going to be the direct beneficiary of this entire world reset taking place. Now, granted, there's a theory on the when. I'm not sure I debate that it's coming or not coming at all, because I have too much evidence that says otherwise. So it's a matter of just when. But we don't know. There can be a catalyst right now overnight. We could accidentally make a mistake, as Turkey did, shooting down a Russian jet. That took a lot of steel turbines to shoot down a Russian jet. We are really pushing it, and Russia is so cool. Russian president, he gets on bareback to a tiger, and then Western presidents ride bikes with dress pants and bike helmets. So there's a difference in machoism from the east to the west. And so what we have to understand is they're very cool customers here. All I know is the stage is being set, and we're trying very hard. So better protect our assets now. Getting educated is a great way to do it, and here's a good place to get started.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now.
I'm like telling Charles, you wait till you see this. Because I'm amazed myself. You know, I mean, I'm just amazed because I'm just merely showing data and things. And all I know is we are going to still be here. And I want to always keep repeating that because you got a lot of internet people, doomsdayers, like, oh, this is all going to end, the dollar is going to implode, America's going to be invaded, and the whole thing's over. I'm just not so sure it could be that drastic, although anything's possible. I'm just merely saying we are definitely getting ready to change, and the world's getting reset. We're going to be one of the players always. And China wants it both ways, trust me. So Russia and Iran and them, they're the pawns in the middle, but China's got their back. So don't think for a second in Syria that's not taking place. So here's what's really going on, as we say in the background here. You can see we have the 4 countries, of course, the map of Iran, Russia, China, and we have these countries coming after the dollar. They have made commitments to attack the dollar's dominance. And this is an old headline to just kind of show you what I'm talking about. China, Russia quit the dollar. And I remember when that came out, I was like, oh my gosh, they did it. What they did there is they forged an agreement. They did an energy deal, another petro deal. Originally, they had done that deal in the dollar. But because we were putting sanctions on Russia, pushing Russia's buttons, they said, forget the Americans, and they did a deal in their own currencies.
Now, Russia needs their oil, correct? Iran's oil.
Oh, absolutely. No, China wants the oil. Russia has all the oil, and Iran has all the oil.
So why are they making a deal with
China? Because what they did is they made a deal for China to have their oil, their natural gas.
Okay.
China needs all the energy, mind you. You saw it, they're consumers of the energy. Now, what's interesting is Europe needs Russian energy. Without Russian energy, Europe collapses. Germany relies almost 50% of it on Russia. But what was fascinating is that deal this deal right here was when they agreed to do this energy deal outside the petrodollar. Sure. It originally was with the dollar, but because of our brilliant actions here, we forced the Russians and Chinese to go in their own currencies, and that was the headline. They were quitting the dollar. And Charles, don't underestimate. Now, what is going on the other side? Now we release the sanctions on Iran. We let Iran get all this money. We got the Mullah Ayatollah going around saying he wants to kill every single one of us. And his people are marching around doing this. Death to America, death to... And you don't think they're serious. Does that look like they're serious to you? I don't know about you, but it looks serious to me. Here's another headline coming out of Moscow in Russia. Can't really see that. If we got that up there, probably pretty good. Russia and China gang up on the U.S. dollar as economic ties deepen. That's September of 2014. So it's been around. You can see right here, headlines Moscow Times. They've been coming after it. Why we unleash the pit bull of Iran to go with them is what fascinates me the most, Charles. And I'm not kidding about that when I say pit bull. They're the ones that want to kill Israel, our ally. We're Judeo-Christian, right? And so the bottom line is they have agreed and publicly have made statements to the death of King Dollar. I'm not kidding. They want us marginalized, and here's what that's going to mean. When the dollar's marginalized, that they get their way, when that happens, it's your standard of living. It's our church's ability to feed the poor and spread the gospel. It's we the people's ability to be free. We can't be free if we lose our assets and wealth and retirement. We can't be free if we have to take from the government. You're only free when you're in God and you have Him providing for you, or you're in a church and we help one another. So remember, freedom depends on our protection of our wealth. So this was real raw, and wait till we continue to show how this is going to play out. Why we did it, maybe they're smarter than me, and I hope so, that they got a better plan. I think it just is one step the elites are doing to lead us to this new reset. But they first got to take us down, bring them up, and then redesign the playing field. So until next week, God bless you, and may you stay wise and get some understanding.
Hey, be sure to tell somebody about the broadcast. We're on at this same time on this station every weekday or every week at this same time. You can also watch these programs on our website at cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Check in the upper right-hand corner right now on that website, and you can watch these programs on demand. My name is Charles Vance for Terry Sacka. We'll see you next week right here on The Wealth Transfer.
Cornerstone Asset Metals has focused on using gold and silver reserves to protect your assets from volatile currencies. Another hard asset that is just as important for your sustainability is food. We believe that preparation is a key to being successful in an unstable economic environment, so we started CAM Ready Food just for you. The Bible tells us that Joseph used the resources of Egypt to prepare for a global famine by storing up food in a time of plenty. His preparation not only preserved the lives of his family, but many others as well. At Cornerstone, we believe the time is now to re-examine this biblical lesson so that you and your family can be prepared for any disaster, job loss, food shortage, or economic instability. You can start preparing today by visiting our website, camreadyfood.com, because food truly is the ultimate currency. Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now.